When the founding fathers designed our flag, they wrote our future on it. The green, which symbolizes the natural wealth that we have been given by God, and white, peace that they won for us, and ours is to turn all this into shared prosperity. We thank our founding fathers, and indeed today we pledge again to protect the heritage and the liberty for which they sacrificed so dearly. Most importantly, we commit to work together, harder and in unity, to build a peaceful and prosperous nation. Fellow Kenyans, unity is paramount to the realization of a peaceful and prosperous nation. Every Kenyan must understand its value and how our individual choices, particularly in politics, play into building or destroying it. The unity of our nation is the shield against the dangers that have shattered other countries. It protects us against any enemy by frustrating attempts to divide and therefore weaken us. Unity allows us to forge forward together in building families, communities, counties, and a nation that knows what it wants and where it is going. Every day we see evidence of how much stronger and well-off united families are. It is indeed the same with a nation. Families that are united may disagree on some matters, but they will always be guided by the well-being of the family. And they know that disagreement must never lead to discord. Let us bring this understanding to our citizens so that in our words and in our actions, we reject the politics of divisiveness and confrontation. Fellow Kenyans, today we also celebrate a rebirth of a nation, a shift from the old to the new. Today we celebrate what our founding fathers imagined and created, but we also celebrate the generational transition from their generation to ours. When our founding fathers constituted Kenya, they did it with the fresh wounds from the Independence War. They had conquered the enemy, but the daunting task of uniting our communities into one nation remained. That was why they taught us to celebrate our diversity and to preserve our traditions. But they did caution that we should not poison the minds of our young people with ethnic disharmony. As your fourth president, I will not tire of reminding you that you will have a fifth and even 10th president, but we will not have a second, third, or fourth Kenya. Preserving Kenya is preserving yourself, because Kenya is you, and you are Kenya. I am proud to be a Kenyan, to belong to a nation that has within a few short decades shown the world the excellence of its people, its love of democracy and liberty, and its ambition to be a force for good in our region and the world. I call on all Kenyans to join me in proclaiming pride in our beloved country. Celebrate being a part of a generation that can and will be remembered fondly by those yet to be born for the achievements you will add to those of our forefathers. As your president, I also pledge to you today to continue to work to bring harmony between communities, to deepen our unity, and to foster national cohesion. I want you in this spirit to also turn to the person sitting or standing next to you. Greet them and say how proud you are to be Kenyan, and tell them that you are their keeper, because to be Kenyan, at its core, is about loving your neighbor. My friends, our founding fathers taught us one more thing, that the person who plants is not always the one who harvests. They toiled to plant this nation, though they knew it was their children who would harvest the fruits of their labor. It is our generation that has reaped that harvest, and we have the responsibility of protecting our inheritance, renewing it periodically, so that our children and our children's children can harvest the fruits of our labor. Fellow Kenyans, there is a different thinking that has been evolving. A thinking that offends the principles of the founding fathers, the thinking that promotes the belief that we strengthen the weak by weakening the strong. It wants us to believe that a Kenyan can climb the ladder of prosperity only if he brings down a fellow Kenyan. This thinking has cost us lives and property in the last few months. I condole with those who have lost their loved ones and property in the recent disturbances. Fellow Kenyans, for a long time now, many in our political arena have believed that politics matters more than economic development. We have drawn Kenyans into our squabbles. For 50 years, we have squabbled over politics for politics' sake and squandered economic opportunities that would have made a difference in the lives of our people.